All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We're going to have to that didn't wake them up. We're going to have to close the doors because they're not. If they're going to talk out there, we're going to have to close the doors. I have good ideas.
The TV monitor should be on out there so people watch it.
Yeah. All right. Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting back into a regular session, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So. We're laughing. So let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Dr. Marshall, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
All right, ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next item is the approval of the agenda, and I have a number of changes and corrections to our agenda. So, starting off, item 1, opening business, item C4, that item was pulled in closed session, so we took no action and we didn't discuss it, it was pulled. On to item V2, number 2. It should read, instead of pentathlon winners, it should be pentathlon and decathlon winners will be recognized. So we're adding and decathlon to that. Under new business, item H. So there's going to be a couple of changes to that. You may want to look at your agenda board. On page 25 of item H, page 25 is pulled, just page 25. So 25 is pulled. 26 stays as is, and 27 is going to be renumbered to resolution number, if you look at the top, resolution number 21-25. So there is a change to page 27 with a resolution number. Everybody writing? Everybody got that done? Okay. And then moving on to item V. The resolution number is 19-25. And also in the first line is it recommended that the board adopt resolution should be 19-25. The BRM is correct, which is the board reference material that's in the packet. That is numbered correctly. It was numbered incorrectly here on the agenda. And going down to item W, instead of 19-25, that should be 18-25 resolution number for both of those quotes here in in item W. All right? All right, that's it. So, Dr. Marshall, are there any other?
No further changes.
No further changes. All right, thank you. So, with that, I need a motion to approve the agenda as it's amended and corrected. So we're going to do amended. So amended and corrected. Let's do both. Motion to approve the agenda as amended and corrected. Got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Smith to approve the agenda as corrected and amended. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. All right. We always love this part of our agendas. because we get to honor a bunch of people. And so we're starting off with our adult education graduating class of June 2024. Should that be 2025? That's another correction to the agenda I didn't know we were doing. So on the agenda, it says June of 2024. It should be June of 2025. Okay. So
It's okay, we're here every year. So.
I know. So, Mr. Mias, welcome.
Welcome, thank you. Good evening, board members and family and friends. Wow, amazing. My name is Chan Mias, and I have the privilege of serving as the principal of San Luis High School and Los Banos Adult School. I'm also excited to share that starting next school year, I will be taking on an additional role as principal of Crossroads, and while continuing my leadership at San Luis and Adult Ed. I'm truly honored to support all three programs and the amazing students and staff who make each school special. So very proud of that. Since launching our adult education program back in 2017, we've proudly celebrated the accomplishments of 65 graduates, and tonight that number grows. This evening, we're thrilled to recognize 10 new graduates, 8 of whom are here with us tonight to celebrate this important milestone. While Ms. Castellanos, their teacher, cannot be here in person tonight, she does send her warmest regards. And literally, I mean warmest regards. She's in Thailand right now, so yes, you can imagine she is having a great time, and she already planned it, but she apologizes, and she's here. She said I could say that, so it's okay. With me tonight, we have Mrs. Maria Laguna, who will be speaking on behalf of Ms. Castellanos, and she'll be speaking about each graduate in Spanish while I share it in English. So let's begin this celebration of resilience, dedication, and new beginnings.
Good afternoon.
Hola.
Buenas tardes. So voy a tratar de poder leer un poquito de lo que la señora Castellanos les dejó a cada uno de los graduados. Vamos a comenzar con lo que sería la información que dio el señor Chan antes de comenzar con esta información. Nos compartió cuál es su nombre y más que nada que próximamente lo queremos felicitar porque va a ser el director de la escuela Crossroads. Nos dice también que no nada más son 65 los graduados hasta ahorita, sino que también el día de hoy se incluyen los 10 graduados de esta noche, de los cuales 8 están aquí presentes. Así que vamos a comenzar con esta celebración, no nada más de resiliencia, dedicación, pero sobre todo con nuevos comienzos. Esta es la información que pudo compartir con ustedes la señorita Castellanos y dice lo siguiente. Livier demostró ser una persona con metas y dedicación, trabajando independientemente en sus múltiples planes a la vez. Consiguió avanzar con tal firmeza. Su participación en clase fue una parte fundamental para crear un ambiente saludable en clase, logrando el cariño y reconocimiento de todos en el aula. Compartimos gran orgullo su esfuerzo y dedicación. Livier proved to be a person with goals and dedication, working independently on her multiple plans simultaneously. She managed to move forward with such determination and participation in class, creating a healthy classroom environment, earning her affection and recognition of everyone in the classroom. We share with great pride the effort and dedication of Livier. Livier, please do us the honor, haznos el honor.
And we'll save our applause after we announce everybody.
So vamos a guardar nuestros aplausos hasta que terminemos con cada uno de ellos. La siguiente sería Claudia. Claudia es una muestra de que la vida nos puede tratar de limitar, conseguir un sueño de diferentes maneras. Pero fue entonces que la perseverancia y dedicación en sus estudios la ayudaron a estar aquí el día de hoy, siendo un gran orgullo para su familia. Todos disfrutamos de su presencia. Se ve que vienen cosas grandes para ella. Claudia is an example of how life can try to limit us from achieving our dreams in different ways. But it was her perseverance and dedication to her studies that helped her get here today. She is a great source of pride for her family, and we all enjoy her presence. And I know great things are coming to her. Claudia, adelante. Aranza. Aranza ha demostrado iniciativa, destreza y sobre todo el cómo balancear sus prioridades, dando como resultado el poder de estar aquí donde comienza el inicio de todo lo que se aproxima en su preparación educativa. Aranza has demonstrated initiative, skills, and above all, how to balance her priorities. The result is that she is here, where the beginning of everything lies ahead of her in her educational preparation, and it starts today. Aranza? Idalia. Idalia ha sido una estudiante muy inteligente. Se propuso terminar con el curso y lo consiguió, aun cuando tuvo que tomar una pausa en diciembre. Ella es una estudiante más que también ha demostrado gran dedicación y que sin duda tiene un futuro próspero. Idalia has been very intelligent student. She was determined to finish the course and succeed, even when she had to take a break in December. She is another student who has also shown great dedication. And without doubt, she will have a prosperous future. Idalia? Cindy. Cindy demostró total independencia y eventualmente fue integrándose a la clase siempre muy atenta, demostrando que acreditar su GED era su prioridad. Sé que le espera mucho por delante y ha sido un placer ser parte de su proceso. Cindy has demonstrated complete independence and eventually integrated into the class, always paying close attention, demonstrating that earning her GED was her priority. I know she has a lot ahead of her, and it has been a pleasure to be part of her journey. Cindy? Iván, al igual que el resto de sus compañeras, tuvo como objetivo este gran logro, al saber la gran oportunidad. También brindó información a quienes lo rodean y trajo consigo a quienes pueden aprovechar la oportunidad y cumplir su meta. Iván, like the rest of his classmates, had this great achievement and his goal. Recognizing the opportunity, he also shared information who those and for were around him, and brought those who could take advantage of the opportunity and achieve his goal. Iván? Jasmine es una de las estudiantes más curiosas de la clase. Ella siempre tiene una pregunta por descubrir y sin duda ha brindado ayuda a todo aquel que lo necesite. Cada pregunta nos lleva a grandes conocimientos y Jasmine tiene el poder de lograr cada objetivo que se proponga siguiendo su deseo de aprender. Fue un gusto formar parte de esto y aprender de ella al igual de cada estudiante en clase. Jasmine is one of the most curious students in class. She always has a question to uncover what she wants to know and prove to everyone who needs it. Every question leads ahead of knowledge, and Jasmine has the power to achieve the goal that she sets for herself by following her desire to learn. It was a pleasure to be part of this and learn from her, as well as every student in the class. Jasmine? Ahora me gustaría invitar nuevamente al señor Mías para que el discurso de graduación.
Lorena Meas.
Sí, perdón. We almost lost one of the students. Perdimos un estudiante. Lorena es una estudiante muy independiente, que fue de total placer ayudar y conseguir este logro tan importante para ella. Se convirtió en la primera estudiante en pasar el primer examen y aunque su trabajo sea demandante, ella no se rinde y seguirá cumpliendo cualquier meta que se proponga. Lorena is a very independent student. It was a real pleasure helping her achieve the milestone. She became the first student to pass the first exam. And even though her work is demanding, she doesn't give up and will continue to achieve any goal she sets for herself. Lorena?
Okay, now we're ready to applaud. Almost done. So to our GED Spanish graduates, we are incredibly proud of each and every one of you for reaching this major milestone. Earning your GED is a remarkable achievement, and doing so in your native language speaks volumes about your determination, your cultural pride, and commitment to personal growth. Your success shows others in our community that language is not a barrier, it is a strength. You've proven that with hard work and perseverance, anything is possible. You are opening doors not only for yourselves, but for future generations who will look up to you and your example. On behalf of the entire Los Banos Adult School team, we applaud your accomplishment and wish you continued success in all your future goals. May your path forward be filled with opportunity, confidence, and fulfillment. Thank you. Now in Spanish.
Ahora lo vamos a decir en español. A nuestros graduados del programa de GED en español, estamos increíblemente orgullosos de cada uno de ustedes por alcanzar este importante logro. Estamos felices ya que obtuvieron su diploma de GED, un mérito al hacerlo en su idioma natal. Eso demuestra una profunda determinación, orgullo cultural y compromiso con su crecimiento personal. Si su éxito demuestra a nuestra comunidad que el idioma no es barrera, sino una fortaleza. Ustedes han probado que con esfuerzo y perseverancia todo es posible. Están abriendo puertas no solo para ustedes mismos, sino también para las futuras generaciones que seguirán su ejemplo. De parte del equipo de educación de adultos de Los Baños, celebramos su logro y les deseamos mucho éxito en todo lo que viene. Que su camino esté lleno de oportunidades, confianza y realización personal.
Now it's my honor to invite our superintendent, Dr. Mark Marshall, for his proclamation. Dr. Marshall.
All right. Okay, we're ready. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of California and the governing board of the Los Banos Unified School District, I certify that the students receiving a diploma have met both local and state graduation requirements. I hereby confer upon each of you the diploma for which you have qualified with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities attached thereto. So it's done.
And now may I invite the board to stand, and we're going to shake their hand and come back for a group photo.
So before they start that, I just want to say on behalf of the board, we are so proud of you. Great work. It's a lot of work. It was hard.
A lot of hard
You put a lot
work.
of time in. Congratulations on behalf of all of us. Great work.
Thank you.
Congratulations. 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 Congratulations.
Adelante porque van a tomar.
Oh, yeah. I don't. I really don't. Are we doing the pictures now?
Okay, thank you. We're all done.
Congratulations. Keep up the great work. You bet. So we're waiting for them to leave the room. I just want to say, if you're here for the pentathlon or decathlon students, there's about 8 seats in the front row for great pictures. So come and fill them up if you want, parents or anybody that wants a great picture. Got some empty seats in the front row. All right, as soon as we get the door closed, we'll continue on. All right, Mr. Mraz, could you, or Mr. Mias, someone can shut that door? There we go. All right, so next up, we're going to recognize another group of outstanding students, and that's our pentathlon and decathlon winners. So, but before we start that, I want to tell everyone that's standing over there, all of our winners, I've been watching you, and you've been holding your medals as you walk around. But I don't want you to do that because you earn the clanks, so let them clank all they want, all right? So here we go. So who is doing the presentation? Bring them on in. You have more outside?
We got lots of room up front.
We got all the what?
All the schools.
All the schools. Okay.
Have them stand in front.
Oh, we're bringing them in. All right. You want to make room for them to walk in here. Come on down.
Lots of room up front.
Come on. Is that LFE over there? LFE, come on down.
Line them all up.
Amanda, we have more? Oh. No one told me. I have no idea, but however you guys want to do it, it's your show. You want to do it school by school? That's fine. Okay. All right, we'll make it work. Well, we're flexible.
I just want to announce my amazing pentathlon team from Westside Elementary. I'm Amanda Creighton. My teacher, Christina States, took this project on because she wanted to instill that passion that she had when she was a student going through pentathlon. So I'm going to call her up for her amazing dedication and the students' dedication, and she's going to announce all of our amazing winners and participants.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. I am very proud of these 14 amazing kids who dedicate time before school, during school, after school, during sports practice, during band. Don't let teachers know. But they put in the effort and the work, weekends as well. I'm very proud of each of them. Sebastian. Wait. Paula. Jessica. Kimberly. Kaylee. Daisy, Melissa, Agata, Bella, Amy, and Nalani. They took 4th place in Super Quiz amongst all 6th grade in Merced County and took 3rd overall 6th grade school in Merced County. Kudos to you guys. Keep it up.
Congratulations, Westside. My name is Gregory Hicks. I'm the principal of Lorena Falasco, the home of the stars. Yeah. All right. I'd like to shout out Mr. Aaron Cotter, my 5th grade teacher, who always does a great job with our LFE stars when we go to the pentathlon. You see the medals on our students' necks. We took home the team medal for overall Merced County Academic Pentathlon Championship, as well as the overall Super Quiz Team Award. So we took home 2 team awards. They also took home individual awards. I'm not gonna go through each one, but we placed from first through 4th places in all the academic categories. I'd like to shout out my students. We have some aren't here, some are already on vacation. All right, so I'm short about 4. But we have Ariana Del Toro, Chloe Weaver, Michael Diaz, Alejandro Casillas, Jaylene Lopez, Gracie Esperanza, Jessica Lopez, Emily Villanueva, Vanessa Rivera, Paola Villagrano, Angelica Arriaga, Emma Garcia, and Harlow Carruthers. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. Great job, stars.
All right. Congratulations. Good job.
All right, good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing our Grasslands Elementary Pentathlon team and our wonderful coach, Mrs. Schultz. This team was fantastic this year. They actually won the Merced County competition. They got first place in the Super Quiz. They finished first in California and got third nationally at the competition in San Antonio. So we give them a hand for that. They did a good job. And it's a testament to their coach, Mrs. Schultz. She does an amazing job. She is there all the time, and these students are there all the time. They put in the work. And it really capped off an amazing year that we had at Grasslands. I can't thank enough for Mrs. Schultz. What she's able to do with these kids is special, and what they were able to do this year was special. So I'll hand it off to her so she could talk about her team.
Thank you so much. So the first thing I'd like to say is just thank you to all of you, because without your support behind us, a lot of what we did in the competitions wouldn't have been possible. To our parents, our board members, our district staff, Dr. Marshall, we just say thank you as well. It has been an amazing year, and these students have done amazing things, from studying the highest of mathematics to environmental sciences, things that you wouldn't think that they would be able to do at their age. But they persevere, they fight hard, they come to all the meetings, they put in the extra work, and I'm just very proud of them, and I'd like to introduce them to you. We have Justin Banuelos Valencia, Michael Reese, Hazel Villalobos, Jasmine Hernandez, Eliana Calderon, Nicole Nieves, Christian Aguirre, and Nancy Sandoval Ruiz. So like Mr. Coleman said, in April, these students competed at the Merced County. They got 80 individual medals. Nancy Sandoval Ruiz took third place in the overall, going against the 7th and the 8th graders. We were first place out of the 14 teams, first place in California, and then we represented California by going to San Antonio and competing in the national competition there, where there's 2 divisions. There is the Champions Division, which is the first place in every state, and then there's the Invited Division, and we were in that Champions Division. We were able to take the bronze, the 3rd place, and we were super excited about that. Just an amazing year. So proud of you, so proud of how you represented not only our school but our district. And so thank you and congratulations very much. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good job. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Congratulations.
I know I look super familiar. I'm Ms. Schultz. I also coach the Los Spanish Junior High Tigers pentathlon team as well. So these are our 7th and 8th graders that competed this year. And we had actually 2 different types of divisions going on. We had 3 7th graders that just competed individually. And then we had a 7th, 8th combo team, which meant that those 7th graders had to compete at the 8th grade level. So whenever you compete in a combo, you have to compete with the higher level. This team here, they took, the 3 individuals took 19 individual medals, and they actually took 5th place in Super Quiz with 3 people. And so that was pretty amazing. We were very shocked by that. Our 8th grade team at County won 60 individual medals, placed first place out of the 13 8th grade teams, first place in Super Quiz. And then 5 of those members also went to nationals, and they competed in the individual category, bringing home 6 individual medals. And I'd like to introduce those to you, and then one little special thank you. So we have Haley Navarro, Isaias Carbajal Rios, Zoe Kukalika, Reese Betchart, Rachel Betchart, Rocio Sandoval Ruiz, Alondra Ramirez Guzman, Yoansi Quintana Batista, Jose Velasquez, and Kimberly Gonzalez. And I would like these students to step forward. Alondra, Yoansi, Reese, and Rachel. These 4 have been with me since 6th grade. So they competed pentathlon 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. And now I have to say goodbye. They are heading to decathlon at the high school now. So amazing, their dedication, their commitment to 3 years of this, the amount of growth and successes and achievements and struggles, it's all been very amazing. So I wish you for the best of luck in decathlon, and we expect to see the same things from you. Greatness as always. And thank you very much. They did a wonderful job.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Marshall, and district cabinet, as well as our Creekside community. I'm the principal of Creekside Junior High School, Taiwan Lawrence, and I'm standing in the stead of Miss Kathy Bartlett, our coach. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here tonight due to health challenges. But that's what I'm here for, to acknowledge these students tonight. They have worked hard. We've had some challenges this year. Our coach was sidelined for 2 months, but we had a history teacher that actually stepped up to teach math. So that's just a testament of how our community is at Creekside. Once one falls, the other one gets up and helps. So I appreciate that. These students are outstanding, have outstanding talents. 3 of them are 7th graders, 1 8th grade. So I'm excited about the future. And so now I want to acknowledge these folks. From 7th grade honors, Rhyme Kim, she took 5th place in ELA. Callie Roloff, she took 5th place in history and 3rd place in math. And also a 7th grade scholastic is Mr. Hector Amezcua Gonzalez. He took 3rd place in fine arts. And one thing about Hector was he took third place with limited training. So this was his first year, and that just lets me know he got a lot of neurons going on in his head. So he's going to be just fine. Our 8th grade team, a few of them are not here, but I do want to give them honor. DK McCord, Sienna Holleran, Nathaniel Poole, and Mr. Max Menifee. Max is no stranger to the pentathlon. He's, I would probably say, a Marvel hero in pentathlon. Max placed in all subjects and was a first place individual for 8th grade and first place overall individual for county. I believe this is your 3rd year in a row for that. See, he's shaking his head. Max went on to compete at the national competition in Texas. He represented Creekside all the way in Texas, where he did very well in the individual categories. He placed first in science, literature, and social science. He placed second. Yes, let's give him a hand clap. He placed second in fine arts, and he placed second overall in individual awards. You know, I'm going to miss old Max here because Max is our anchor in our program, and I asked him, Miss Menifee, can he come back and help mentor our students? Because we would definitely like him to come. I'm serious. I want him to come back. And but these folks, you are a testament to perseverance and resilience, and you guys are going to do great. Thank you.
All right, we were so very proud of all of our pentathlon and decathlon winners. Do we have any more tonight? Oh, yeah, we do. All right. Oh. His name fell off.
Good evening. I'm representing Pacheco High School. My principal's not here, and our amazing teacher, Miss Lewis, and Miss Sarai, who oversees and supports our teams, are not here, so I will do the presentation for them. We have Dominic Mendoza. Joshua Mendoza. And Daisy Abarca. So congratulations and thank you for your guys' support.
Wow. Glad to say that's the future of Los Banas as they're coming in. They're so proud of those students for doing a great job. We have more. All right. They keep coming.
Learning Director at Los Banas High School. And I'd like to introduce our teacher coach, Mr. Felix Sanchez. And what I love about the way he coaches is he makes learning fun and engaging. And what we would like to see is teachers who love academic challenges and get their kids excited about academics. And that's really what we want from this. And he's definitely accomplished that just in the 2 years he's taken this on. So, Mr. Sanchez.
My name is Felix Sanchez, Los Banos High School's new academic decathlon coach. This is actually just finishing my first year with it, and Miss Snively gives me too much credit. All of the credit really just goes to the kids. It really was just a leap of faith putting me in charge of the program, honestly. I'm a newer teacher, and I always thought about doing this growing up, but being able to enable them to do it, I think it's much more rewarding. Right here today, I have 2 members of my honors team. Unfortunately, my one student from my varsity team could not make it, but these 2 students medaled in the decathlon/heptathlon this year, and I'm very, very proud of them. First, we have Vivian Le. She got the gold medal in the speech category, and you could applause that. With the gold medal in the speech category, when I first heard her speech, I had no doubt in my mind she was going to get first. I've never met someone so passionate, so proud, and also equally humble. And in my short time being a teacher, so I'm hoping she sets the bar for the amazing kids that to come. For our next young gentleman right here, I have Freddy Artiga Hernandez. He got the highest scoring student on the team, the highest $500 scholarship on the team, and for the heptathlon, he placed second place in the science category. For Freddie, I'm immensely proud of him because he honestly, very modest, very quiet, very, I would say almost shy, but once you start talking to him, he's very charismatic, confident, and really composed for a freshman. So I'm really proud. I'm very excited to see what he's got for me for the rest of the year. For the student that was not able to make it today, his name was Marcus Homer. He was a senior. He was a very late addition to the team. He joined about halfway, 3/4 into the year, and when I was losing a lot of kids just because they couldn't keep up with the workload. But I got him for my first period. He was one of my lowest grade average students, but he pulled up just because he liked, learning with me. And he got the 3rd place medal in literature, 3rd place medal in social science, I believe, and a $200 scholarship or $250 scholarship, all with being a late addition on the team. Honestly, if he had the full year, I think he could have scored higher. But either way, I'm very proud of him, and I'm glad I got to be in charge of him for just a year. So I would like to applause for him, too. Thank you.
Is that it? They keep coming all of a sudden. Then we're done. All right, we're done. Okay. We're done. All right. Okay, on to item 3, which is seniors who met the reclassification criteria. They're all gone?
Good evening, Carolina Moreno, Director of EL Services, and Mike Burnett, and this is Ms. Beduming from Pacheco High School, the new VP. Even though our students are not here, we had a few, and I think they just walked out with everybody else. But I do want to acknowledge our seniors who have met the reclassification criteria, because not only have they been working hard on the academics, they had to be working hard on learning and mastering English as well. So even though it took them a few years, they will no longer be LTELs, even in our dashboard, because they reclassified, and we received the scores mid-May. So we had our learning directors working really hard to make sure that we reclassified our students. This is the first year we reclassify the seniors, because we didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to them because they were leaving us. So realizing that the numbers count as well and the California dashboard, and the students deserve the honor of being reclassified, even though it was at the end of their senior year. So I'm gonna say their names, even though they're not here. Kenya Abigail Duran, Andres Fernandez Ortega. We had 6 from Los Baños High School and 4 from Pacheco High School. Eduardo Enrique Fragoso Lopez. Jasmine Pacheco Gabriel. And Jose Emiliano Garcia. Miranda Resendiz Martinez from Los Baños High School and from Pacheco.
I also want to add that for us, our students set SMART goals. So we said it doesn't matter, even if you go up in your reading level, just you need to be a 2.0 student, be a 2.0 better student. And so these students, they did amazing just to be able to get a 4 and meet all the requirements. So we have Julián Centeno Terrones. He's on vacation already. Lucila Jacobo Cortez. We fought for that 4 for her. Ricardo Pureco Bojorquez. And Nehemiah Solano. We met with all their parents, and they're super proud of them. We met this week, but they're not here today. Congratulations to them.
All right. There was 3 recognitions on our agenda, but we have a 4th one. So if the board would join me down front. So 8 years ago, we hired a superintendent, and the only one left of the board is Marlene and myself. So we were the ones who hired you. We did a good job. We were very fortunate to have Dr. Marshall here with us for the last 8 years. He's done a phenomenal job. He came in 2017, and he hit the road running because soon thereafter we were working on Measure X to bring money into our schools, pass a bond, and that bond passed, I think somebody wondered 72%, which is very high. And he was right there working on it. So he hit the road running when he got here, and it's been uphill with him creating a great workplace and meeting the goals that we need to meet to improve. He's done a phenomenal job. He's going to be missed. And when I got, we knew he let us know that he had accepted a new position on a late one Friday afternoon, and then that kind of all of us kind of went. And then, he last Tuesday the board in Central Unified ratified his contract and approved him unanimously. And so then it was another. And then yesterday I got his letter of resignation, and that was another moment. Because it keeps hitting us every time that it's a reality, and we're going to have to look for a new person, and it's going to be hard shoes to fill. I mean, you have done some great work in our district, and we are so happy and proud that you have been here for 8 years, and we wish you the best of luck, and we know that you're going to do a phenomenal job at Central Unified. So we have just a short a little plaque for you in recognition of Dr. Mark E. Marshall, District Superintendent from 2017 to 2025. Thank you for 8 years of dedicated service to the students and staff of Los Banos Unified School District from the Los Banos Unified School District Board of Trustees. Congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Do we got pictures or are we done? You got them? I just didn't know if you wanted to do pictures. All right. Now we're going to get down to business, even though that was more fun than the business. We love when we do recognitions for our students and staff and wish everybody well and congratulations to our adult ed graduating class, our pentathlon and decathlon winners, our reclassified seniors, and of course, Dr. Marshall. So, members of the public who would like to have an item placed on the agenda may do so by submitting a request to the superintendent at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled board meeting. If it's within our purview, it'll be considered to be added to a future agenda. If there's anybody here tonight that would like to make a comment on any item that's on the agenda tonight, you may do so when that agenda item comes before you. Step up to the podium. We ask that you give your name, and you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments about an agenda item. If there are multiple speakers on an agenda item, you'll be limited to 20 minutes for comments on a single agenda item. And if we have members of the public here tonight that would like to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda, you may do so by coming up to the podium. Please state your name, and you will again have 3 minutes to share your thoughts. If there are multiple speakers on the same non-agenda item, it is limited to 20 minutes. So with that, is there anybody here that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda? Please come up. All right, seeing no one come up. All right, we're going to continue on with the agenda then, starting with reports. California school employees. Anybody here tonight? All right, how about Los Banos Teachers Association? Anyone here tonight? Everybody is on summer vacation. Don't blame them. All right, on to facilities and maintenance. Ms. Monday, welcome.
Hi, I'm not on vacation.
You're not a what?
We're not on vacation.
You're not on vacation. You just wish you were.
It's okay. Summertime, we get to get things done, so. All right, so I don't have a formal presentation. I'm going to try to make this just a kind of short and sweet little update here. So summer's here, so we started some projects this week. We started Los Banos Junior High School fire alarm. We started the PHS new classroom CTIG project, which is a new classroom, restroom, and greenhouse. Then we also started our Los Banos High School modernization, the first 2 categories, which were finishes and abatement packages. The gym floor is gone, the bleachers are gone in the gym. So they're working on that. They're working on the abatement. And then another project that will be coming up, we're going to be doing that on the week of June 23rd, is Creekside Junior High School's elevator shafts leak when it rains. So we're going to be waterproofing them during this time. And then some of the continuing projects are LED lighting. We're at Los Banos High School now. We've completed 100% of Charleston Elementary. San Luis High School, the DO still has 3 exterior lights we're going to do. Los Spanish Junior High School is 100%. And then Creekside Junior High, they have some lights that are back ordered, but they're about 90% done. Volta Modernization, they started the parking lot demolition today. They're continuing with the administration building work. Early Education Center, AMS, who's the building manufacturer, they're working on the casework and getting the interiors of the classrooms all put together. TBS, the site contractors, working on the site work, getting the parking lot, all the concrete flat work done, the fencing. We're working on our facilities master plan. We're going to be starting our site visits, which are the site assessments on 6/25. And then some other things that we're working on, Bond Oversight Committee. Thank you, Mr. Lieb, for recruiting. I received 3 applications. We need a few more. I will be bringing any applications we did receive to the board for approval in July. And then, as I mentioned last time, we'll be having our first meeting in September. And at the end of the summer, I would like to schedule a facilities projects tour, which we can look at some of our maintenance and facilities projects that we've done over the summer, as well as the ongoing things that we're doing. So I'll get with Tina for a date for that. Okay, and that's it. Thank you.
Any questions? All right, thank you. I know it's going to be a busy summer because a lot can be done when there's no students there, so that's a good thing. All right, community schools. Welcome, Dr. Wheeler.
Good evening, everyone. So while I do have a formal presentation, I'm actually not going to really follow it. You have it to look at. It's really a recap of everything that we've already talked about this year. But I do want to bring up that we had an amazing event on May 31st. If you were able to attend at the community center, we had almost 1,000 people come through. And some of the board members were able to come and many community members as well. We will have another event similar on August 2nd. That will be our backpack giveaway event. There will be quite a bit of advertising, so don't worry. I will remind you before we get there. That feels like a long way away, but it's not. So we will be having an event similar, and we're really looking forward to that because we had a lot of fun. But we're going to start a little earlier because of the heat. So it will start around 10 a.m. and go till 4 instead of being later in that. We managed to get the first triple-digit day. It was great. Well, lots of water play, so that was good. The kids had a lot of fun with the water. So just as a reminder, we do have, this is the what of our work. So community schools is built on 4 pillars. So just as a reminder that we are working on those 4 pillars as we bring programs in, as we build capacity of people to support the community, and we will be continuing to work on that. Those were our accomplishments that we talked about this year. And then these capacity building strategies are also going to be what we will be focusing on as we move into the next year. So the focus as we move into the next year is really continuing to launch the Family Resource Center. And obviously we won't be able to be full capacity until we are at our site. But in the meantime, we already have a clothing closet. We already have a food pantry. We're already supporting the community, and we just started passing out all of our summer literacy kits. And so we're starting them young. We're getting them and with their parents. So those are the things that are wrapping up the school year with the liaisons and with our community schools program. And I will be back in the summer, July and August, to let you know about some of the other things we're doing. Any questions?
Where's the backpack giveaway going to be held?
At the community center also. Yes,
center.
so we'll be there as well because we just found that it was such a perfect, but now we were only in the Oak Room. Next time we'll be in more of the whole, we'll take over the whole place.
Because that's a lot of people, that place.
Yeah, it is. And it's a wonderful, wonderful relationship. The community center staff and the city of Los Banos is excited. They're excited to have us there.
That's great.
It is. It's wonderful.
Ms. Gattuso.
So thank you. The Resource Day was really a great day and very, very just just nice to see all the people, all the vendors and everything. And do you have a place for August 2nd? Is it going to be back at the same place?
Same place. Yeah, it's going to be, yeah, it's,
I thought you asked another one about the community.
Yeah.
No,
No.
the backpack giveaway.
yeah, so the backpack giveaway,
I'm
August
talking-
2nd, will be held at the community center.
August 2nd, but the backpack.
It's August 2nd, same thing.
Oh, because I've seen a list on social media where they've got different, some of your community liaisons have different dates.
That's for the kinder kits.
Okay, so kinder kids, backpacks are different.
Right,
Got
so
it
the
now,
backpack will be
duh.
like the start of the school year kickoff. We're going to be doing the start of the school year kickoff. That'll be at the community center. The kinder kits, we've been doing them at the school sites
Yes.
where where the families will be going in the fall, so that way they could, make that connection.
Because I thought they were backpacks as well.
Well, they are sort of.
Yeah,
There are some school supplies and things in it, and it's the box where they can put their backpack once they get it. But they'll get their backpack in August.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion on my
That's
part.
good. I'm glad to clarify.
I want vacation too.
A lot going on.
Yes.
Thank you for all your work.
So thank you.
I'm happy for
Have
you.
a good evening.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? All right. All right, thank you. All right, Dr. Marshall, you're on.
Okay. All right. This is going to probably be my last meeting because I know they planned the meeting on the 18th. But like everyone else, I'll be going on vacation, my last vacation before I transition to Fresno area. So I wanted to start with just something we've been working on and kind of highlights a lot of the work we've been doing. So I'll let Dr. Lee start the video. Good morning. I'm here at Bolton Elementary School, and I'm here with Mr. Thomas, the principal. And when I drove up, I saw all this construction. Mr. Thomas, what's going on?
Well, we've got a lot of construction happening right now. The original part of the school, which was an admin office and then 3 classrooms. We're taking those 3 classrooms and we're turning it into one big admin office, which is going to house our nurse. It's going to have our wellness counselor, our community school liaison, and then it's also going to house our independent studies program. For the last few years, whenever parents, community members come on campus and need to meet with someone, they've had to go kind of all over the place. So now we're going to have everyone in the same location, and there will be one point of entry for our school. So we'll be much safer, and we'll be able to kind of control who's coming in and out. And then this summer, one thing I think we are all excited about, more so than the new office building, is that we're going to be getting a brand new parking lot. School ends June 6th, and they start the next day, tearing up the parking lot and getting it ready for the first day of school. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot. I have to give a huge shout out to Sherry Monday from our district, the architects at Teeter, and all the guys from Pataya Group who have been doing all this work. We've had school while it's been going on, and now we have framing. So it's been awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Ms. Sherry Monday. She's our Manager of Facilities and Special Projects.
Hi, Dr. Marshall. Yes, very exciting here at Volta Elementary School. We're doing a modernization of the administration building, and we're going to do some site improvement work, which will include the administration office, independent study office, and classroom. The work will consist of providing the school a secure point of entry and visitors lobby and new reception area. The health office will be built and will provide direct access to a restroom for the students. The network equipment will be moved from a classroom into the administration office. The administrators' offices will be reconfigured for efficiency, privacy, and the ability to access the campus quickly. A secure records room and workstations will be created for staff. The HVAC equipment will be replaced, along with new walls and window panels and interior finishes. In addition to the administration building improvements, there will be a new bell housing that will hold the original school bell and will include a time capsule. There will be new landscaping and landscaping modifications. A new parking lot will be created to increase parking spaces and will contain EV charging stations. Other site work includes expanding the ponding basin to divert the water from the parking lot, a new trash enclosure, new gates, and then the whole entire school will get a paint job, which will give a whole new fresh look.
So as you can tell, a lot of exciting things are happening at Volta. Let us know what you think. Let's give Mr. Taylor Roloff. He's did the video from. He's at the West Side. Did a great job. So good. So let's get into the report. We're going to start off with the Volta modernization project. You saw that, so we're going to. All right. So since the last board meeting, I want to kind of talk about a few highlights. We had our promotion ceremonies, a lot of scholarship recognitions. I like how Creekside and Los Banos Junior High, they have end of the year celebrations. You know, at Creekside, they have the dinner, and then there's the Honor Society ceremony at Los Banos Junior High. So it's interesting to do two different things, but it really recognizes some of their top students. The Success Tonight pentathlon team, the decathlon team, that's all the kids getting awards. I mean, very powerful. Another note, our bonds were refinanced recently. Mr. Bauer came last month and talked about that process, so that's been done, save our taxpayers' money. A joint project with LBTA, Other Means of Correction Task Force. Mr. Mraz, he led that work on the district side, went very well, lots of good feedback. We had a presentation, Dr. Lee and Ms. Monday and I, we went to, a lot of board members were there at Pacheco. We talked about gave an overview of all the projects that we've done in this district over the last few years, and it was very well received. So thank you for all involved in that. Ms. Monday talked about our master facilities plan, our ed specs meetings that are going on right now. You may have seen the pictures for the St. Louis High School mural project. And then we attended the dual immersion language academy parent meeting. That was very powerful to do that. And I want you to all remember the impact of federal funding in Los Banos Unified. I just want you to keep that in mind. If you go to the next slide, you can see our district receives about $16 million in federal funds. Those are very critical services that our kids receive from those monies. If those monies go away, the budget has to be adjusted to make sure our kids get served. So I just want you to put that out there. Look back, our board president talked about as far as since I've been here for 8 years, but there's been a lot, and I just went and I think there were some things that I didn't focus on. But if you look at it from the academic standpoint, our academic metrics, they're trending in the right direction. I think we've gotten back to where we were when before the pandemic hit. So we're moving in the right direction there. We have a dual immersion language academy. That's done. Our AVID program is on track to be certified. I was talking to Dr. Sutton. That's in the works. Creekside, I think, is like the model. They're going to be an AVID showcase school. That's right in concert with that. So they've been doing real well with the AVID program. And then to kind of culminate that, you saw Grasslands was named the California Distinguished School. That's our first school to have that honor since 1995, 30 years ago. Facilities, I'm very proud of that. Measure X, as we talked about, passed in 2018. And it stands as the bond with the highest passage rate in LBUSD history at about 71%. We constructed Grasslands. We added a science wing at Pacheco High School. Lofton Stadium a complete renovation that's going through right now. We added classrooms at Volta and San Luis High School. And then Los Banos High School and Volta undergoing modifications as we speak. Finances. One thing I'm very proud of, there was 1 year I think that we did have to certify qualified, but I think right before they made some adjustments in the budget. So it was positive certification every year since during my 8-year tenure. And I'm proud of that because we're never one of those districts that had financial problems. The Ed Services team, different teams in the district, over $60 million in external resources was secured. And then you look at a $21 million community schools grant that was awarded. Very proud of the fact that we expanded our partnerships with parents and the community. You look at all the things happening as far as like the parents going to Kabe, what we've seen, all of the presentations that we've done, just to see how we've connected the school community with the community at large. Very proud of that. So what's left to do? We have to continue our academic trends. I mean, as far as the metrics going in the right direction, I talked with Dr. Ritchie. The results for 2025 look like they're going in the right increases in both areas again. We did a strategic plan that needs to continue. That's very big because a lot of districts don't have that. And it's nice to say when I talk to people, we don't have a strategic plan. We have one in Los Banos. So it's nice to say that we've done that process. Land for a new elementary school needs to be purchased. And stay tuned on that. There's some things that I can't speak of right now, but there's some things in the works that hopefully will come to fruition in the very near future. A facilities bond for 2026 should be considered. Dr. Wheeler pointed this out. Our community schools initiative must be successful. If that first event is any indication of what's going to happen, we're in good shape. I think we're well ahead of, if you look at a 5-year plan, I think we're well ahead of where we should be in this process. So I want to thank her for that. Very close. Our AVID program needs to be certified in terms of, it's good to have programs that everybody talks about, but until you get that certification, it's just, you're not certified yet. So Dr. Sutton has said we're going in the right direction there. And then there's one thing that I couldn't get to, but I think that at least we had that discussion because once we started the process, people had an opinion. So just basically we've gotten it to where we have some different options. That's one thing that's outstanding that I couldn't get to. Lastly, being here, moving here 8 years ago, it was nice because my philosophy is always you move into town, you make yourself a part of the community. And it's been nice over the last 8 years to make this call the city home. So, basically to all of the businesses that I frequented, all the partnerships that I made, all the community organizations, I want to say, and to the parents and to the students especially, my staff members, I want to say thank you to the Los Banos Collective. So thank you. That's my report.
And, actually, Dr. Marshall, that's one thing that I didn't mention when we were up at the mic there was your involvement in the community. And that's one of the things that this board really noticed and that we really want to see in a future superintendent is someone who comes in and immediately immerses themselves into the community of Los Banos. We have, of course, all our district personnel know who you are. Students know who you are because they see you in the schools. The community sees you out. I know you're at the gym and you run into people there and students there and the community there. You're into the community, you're involved. And that was one of the great things that happened when you got here is that you not only were involved in those, you become the face of the district right off the bat. So thank you for that because that's really a very important quality in a superintendent is that the community and the businesses and the whole school community knows who you are. So I didn't mention that, but it's really important that you did such a great job of doing that. So thank you very much. All right, on to board member reports. Ms. Caduso.
I have attended a bunch of stuff this month, but I'm going to make it short because it's already 8:20. We haven't even gotten to the meat of things. So congratulations to the graduates and have a great and safe summer.
Thank you. Mr. Lieb.
I'm going to follow in the same footsteps. I have a list of like 10 items I could list right now. May was extremely busy, but I won't go into them. I will just say that truly enjoyed the graduation ceremonies. It is by far the best time as a board. And as a longtime member of the Los Banos Rotary Club, I want to say publicly that the Rotary Club is going to miss Dr. Marshall. He's been a faithful member of our club, giving back to the community for 8 years that he's been there. Trustee Marg Benton was instrumental in bringing him into the club. So you're going to be missed at our club. And thank you for 8 fabulous years. That's it.
Right. Mr. Castro.
I had the opportunity to also attend graduation ceremonies, and it was really nice. I do want to congratulate Dr. Marshall for his new endeavor that he'll be taking on. It was a pleasure, having him as our superintendent here in Los Banos Unified School District. He did great work, and I believe that he's really valued in this community, and I've spoken to a lot of people in regard to Dr. Marshall, and nothing but kind words about Dr. Marshall. And I am personally going to really miss Dr. Marshall because we had a special relationship. Wasn't just all about school and the community, but we had some interesting conversations, political interesting conversations, and I'm going to miss that. And I hope that I know that he's going to do well in Fresno Unified. So again, congratulations, Dr. Marshall, and I'm sure we'll be still running into each other somewhere. Thank you very much. That's
Okay.
it.
Ms. Smith.
I'd like to say, for the school year, from beginning to end, there has been an extreme amount of success in this district. From every school in the city, we have had extreme success in this district with the students, with the staff, with the projects we've done here. It's been absolutely outstanding. And I just hope and continue that will continue for the next school year and definitely until we get to the city where we want it to be. Dr. Marshall, I will not say goodbye. I will say see you later. All right. That's it. Thank you.
And basically the same thing. Just one quick thing. I want to commend all of the schools, all the secondary schools, especially that did graduation and promotion ceremonies. They were awesome. They were on point, and parents were happy, and students were happy, and staff was happy. You guys pulled it off, and it went really well. So to all of the staff who put together all the graduation and promotion ceremonies, congratulations, great work. And without saying, Dr. Marshall, will miss you. Thank you very much. With that, we are on to new business. Item A. Mr. Morass?
Good evening. We actually have a representative from A2A. A2A is a company that we actually work with. They help us keep track of our attendance. And Mr. Nick Gilstrap, he's the representative from A2A. He'll be providing an overview of our attendance for this school year, and we're also going to be recognizing 3 schools.
Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, members of the community. Tonight, it's kind of a special occasion for us. This is my 3rd time addressing your board, and every time it's been memorable. But tonight is our chance to both reflect on attendance, but also to celebrate the outstanding efforts that have been made by your students, your families, teachers, and your staff in improving, student success. So we do work with the district. We automate many of your attendance processes. We take care of things like letter generation. We assist with conference management and also provide many different data tools to help people make targeted interventions and get kids back into class. Everything we do is really designed to enable staff to have more time to work directly with families and with students, and really find the issues that might keep someone out of school and work to overcome those obstacles. Tonight, we're going to start with, we have a few slides on data, so we're going to do a quick review of really what your attendance looked like for this first year. And as I said, and with A2A, we recently changed our name. We became School Status. A2A has actually been renamed to School Status Attend. But we partner with hundreds of districts across the country to work on a variety of solutions for educators. So this has been an interesting year for attendance. In fact, this is actually one of the first years where we're seeing attendance get worse since 2020. Statewide, we're actually seeing an increase for chronic absenteeism for many of the districts we partner with. Attendance rates have started to decline. And a lot of this is for reasons that are outside of the control of school districts. We've had a particularly bad flu and cold season. There's been a lot of turmoil, especially when it comes to politics and safety concerns. And also many districts have been affected by natural disasters. But what we can control is making sure that we message to families that we really do care about. Schools are safe, every student is valued, and that the best thing that a parent can do for their child is to make sure that they have the routine of coming to class every day. So to start, this is looking at your day-by-day breakout of attendance for the district. On average, there were 823 students out on any particular day this year. Days that are 10% or more better than that average, those are going to appear in green, and 10% or more worse, those show up in red. And what we can see is the beginning of the year, fairly good start for the first 3 months. We do start seeing issues on Fridays and sometimes on Mondays. December, you know, that week before the holiday break was also particularly rough. But by far the worst day this year was February 3rd, where, you know, that was the day without an immigrant. Like many districts across this country, attendance was impacted. And in fact, over 4,000 students were out that day. From there, the district still faced a few challenges, but ended the year on a fairly strong note. Overall, 43% of your students are doing a terrific job of coming to class. You have 800 students who have excellent attendance where they miss less than 1% of the school year. And then another 3,700 or so students are in what we call satisfactory, where they're missing less than 5% of learning time. We also have a fairly large category where they're not chronically absent, but they are at risk. That's our manageable students. There's about 32% of your population. And then your chronic absenteeism was right about 24.5%. Year over year, you're still seeing gains. Compared to where you were 2 years ago, you're seeing significant improvements both for chronic absenteeism, and also the number of students with excellent attendance and satisfactory attendance has also increased. By grade level, the younger grades have been improving. The one exception to this would be our third grade students, where chronic absenteeism did jump up a little bit this year. And then for our secondary students, like many districts in the state, secondary is where we actually see the most challenges for attendance. And chronic absenteeism did increase for 9th, 10th, and 12th grade. 11th graders doing better than last year. But again, this is an area where more work is needed.
Can we go back to that slide just a second? Why, is there any reason that 22-23 had shows significantly more students in attendance than say this year?
Oh, for chronic absenteeism?
Yeah.
So coming out of COVID, or out of the pandemic, many students were significantly impacted in their patterns of attendance. For many students, school is a scary place. They weren't accustomed to coming in every day. We're still seeing long-term ramifications. As we see students move throughout each cohort, we can start to see improvements. But, you know, pre-COVID, in 2015, statewide, chronic absenteeism was about 11%. At the height of COVID, in 21-22, or when schools started coming back, chronic absenteeism was about 33%. So it really doubled during that time period. Every year since then, we've been making gains. Attendance has been improving. The last 2 years in particular, we saw gains for across the state. But for this year, we really did start seeing attendance start to get worse. And a lot of it really didn't start showing up until December. But for the last, there was about 3 months there where we saw consistently statewide an increase in absenteeism. Thank you. By site, almost every site in the district was showing improvement this year. And again, almost every site is showing significant improvement compared to 2 years ago when it comes to chronic absenteeism. And as I said earlier, what we do for the district is we automate your attendance notifications. So this year, we sent out 18,715 intervention notices to your families. These include notices for both unexcused absences and also excessive excused absences. Something that I'll point out is that you have a 51% save rate. And what that refers to, that's the percentage of students who, after they receive their initial notification, have a change in their behavior and they stop accruing absences. They no longer require any further intervention on the part of the sites. So for over half your families, the first time they receive a letter, that's all it takes to push them back on track. In addition to direct notifications that go out in response to attendance, we also send out positive messaging. And there's actually almost 58,000 positive mailers that went out to your families this year. This includes back-to-school messaging, postcards around the holidays, attendance messaging for parents, as well as celebratory messaging for students who are doing a great job to come into class, and encouraging postcards for those students who need a little extra boost. This year, 3,600 students qualified for a truancy conference. That's a lot of students. Your staff took that on, and they actually they addressed over almost 2,600 of these conferences. So that actually represents an enormous workload for your staff, tremendous number of hours that they've dedicated to this and working with your families. And they actually closed out 95% of those. So they really, a lot of hard work there. And after they conducted those meetings, we looked at the conferences that were conducted, and we looked at the 6 weeks before and after a conference. And for those students who came in for a meeting with staff members, they actually had a 39% improvement in their attendance. So conversations, they really do make a big difference. When staff members do talk to parents and students directly, it really does have a big impact on them. Now, the last part of this is actually my favorite part, because we're here to do more than just honor the numbers. Every year, there's a handful of districts that we work with that we recognize for going above and beyond when it comes to building a culture of success and a culture of showing up. We really know that improved attendance, it means more learning, more growth, and more opportunity for every child. We want to recognize the staff and the attendance teams of 3 sites that, they really were champions who work behind the scenes, making phone calls, encouraging students, and celebrating every improvement they have. Their dedication, it truly does make a difference. So this year, 3 sites in the district, again, they really did go above and beyond, both improvement for chronic absenteeism, improved attendance rates, and also for how they manage their conferences and their conference effectiveness. So those 3 sites, yes. So, our first winner tonight, or our first celebrant, is going to be Los Banos High School. So we do have a plaque for each site in recognition of their attendance achievements. Creekside Junior High. And finally, Grasslands Elementary School. Thank you. So again, we just want to close out with the simple truth. every day counts. And because of everyone here, your staff, students, and your families, you really are building a more successful and more connected school community. So again, thank you for your time tonight. And everyone, fantastic job. It's been a pleasure to be your partner.
I just have a quick question. So on the truancy letters that you send out, how do they differ from the ones like Aries produces? Are they more personalized? Are they, I mean, I would like to see those actually, just to kind of see the difference in them, because I know Aries spits out the form one. But yeah, I'm just curious.
So we do have our own proprietary letters, but we always customize them with the district. So they're always meant to be encouraging, positive. They're not, you can't punish the student back into class, is what it really comes down to. So letters aren't intended to be punitive, they're intended to engage with families. This year, something you might not be aware of, truancy letters are actually changing. There's actually a new law called SB 691 that is modifying the language on truancy letters. So we do have new letters, they're all coming out. So those are being replaced this summer. We'll be sending those over for approval.
Great, thank you.
Good. Any other questions? All right. Well,
thank
thank you
you
very
again.
much. Great. And congratulations to the Los Banos High and Creekside and Grasslands. Good job. Thank you. Proud of you. All right. Next item tonight is our DLAC presentation. Ms. Moreno.
Good evening again. I would like to introduce our DLAC Board President, Sophia, and our DLAC Secretary, Vicenta, and they're going to be presenting and going over what they've done this school year. They will also have an interpreter, so they will say it in Spanish, and then Miss Cindy will be translating.
Buenas tardes. Distribución de mochilas. Al inicio del año escolar recibimos 600 mochilas, las cuales... Oh, perdón. Lo siento. DLAC juntas. Lluvia de ideas. Los padres dieron su opinión en los temas de interés para este ciclo escolar. Entre ellos fueron alimentación sana y nutrición, asistencia, la importancia de los porcentajes de las pruebas de LPAC y la reclasificación. Matemáticas, ¿cómo podemos apoyar a nuestros hijos académicamente? Bullying, ¿cómo ayudar a nuestros hijos? Bomberos, ¿cómo prevenir accidentes en el hogar y cómo apagar un incendio? LCAT, presentado por Dr. Richie, salud socioemocional, y cerramos con broche de oro, conviviendo con Dr. Marshall, celebración.
All right, DLAC meetings. We did brainstorming. Parents gave their opinions on topics of interest for this school year. We did healthy eating and nutrition. We talked about attendance, the importance of test percentages, LPAC and reclassification. Math, how can we support our children academically? Bullying, how to help our children. We had firefighters, how to prevent accidents at home and how to put out a fire. LCAP with Dr. Richie. We did social emotional health, and then we also ended it with a celebration with Dr. Marshall.
Distribución de mochilas. Al inicio del año escolar, recibimos 600 mochilas, las cuales los padres de familia participaron en bajar, acomodar y posteriormente repartirlas en la comunidad. Fue un momento mágico, ya que los niños se mostraron felices de haber recibido una mochila llena de material escolar.
Distribution of backpacks. At the beginning of the school year, we received 600 backpacks, which parents helped unload, organize, and then distribute to the community. It was a magical moment, as the children were thrilled to have received a backpack full of school supplies.
Visita a las escuelas. Estrategias y actividades socioemocionales, entre ellas música de relajación y asientos de diversas formas. uso del idioma materno para ayudar al estudiante, high school, clases selectivas, soldadura, banda, cerámica, arreglos florales, robótica. Estudiantes apoyando a otros estudiantes, trabajo en grupo y uso de tecnología durante la lección. Los baños Junior High, espacio para consejero y apoyo para estudiantes.
School visits, social emotional strategies and activities. For example, relaxation music and various seating arrangements. The use of native language to support students. High schools, the elective classes. Welding, band, ceramics, flower design, robotics. Students supporting other students. Group work and use of technology during lessons. And Los Banos Junior High, space for counselors and student support.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. La participación en la aportación para el CAP. Muchísimas gracias, doctor Richie, por la gran oportunidad de aprender sobre los servicios que nuestros niños, reciben en la escuela. La oportunidad de dar nuestra opinión sobre cómo se utiliza el dinero en los servicios para nuestros niños.
Good afternoon. Participation and the contribution to the LPAC. Thank you to Dr. Ritchie for the opportunity to learn about the services our children receive at school and for the opportunity to provide input on how funding is used to provide services to our children.
Ceremonia de reclasificación. Reconociendo a nuestros estudiantes que cumplieron con los créditos de reclasificación, estos fueron 331 estudiantes de último año que obtuvieron el sello de bialfabeto, estos fueron 125 estudiantes.
We did the reclassification ceremony where we recognized our students who met the reclassification criteria, 331 students. Then senior students who earned the seal of biliteracy, they were 125 students.
Y mi tema favorito, CABE. Gracias, señora Carolina Moreno. Gracias, doctor Richie. Gracias, doctor Marshall. Y por el gran apoyo de la señora García, este año fue excepcional. Se llenó un autobús, no solo con padres de familia, también con estudiantes de high school, que regresaron completamente motivados y con otra visión que les ayudará a su crecimiento académico y con ello llegar exitosamente a la universidad. A nombre de todos los padres, muchísimas gracias, ya que sin su apoyo este aprendizaje no sería posible. Y gracias a este aprendizaje, los vanos nos ganamos una medalla del 50 aniversario de CABE. Gracias totales.
CABE. Thanks to Señora Carolina Moreno, thanks to Dr. Ritchie, thanks to Dr. Marshall, and for the tremendous support of Ms. Garcia. This year was exceptional. We filled a bus, not only with parents, but also with high school students who returned fully motivated and with a new vision that will help them grow academically and successfully advance to a university. On behalf of all the parents, thank you so much, because without your support, this learning experience would not be possible. And thanks to that learning experience, Los Banos earned us a CABE 50th anniversary medal. Thank you so, so much.
El aprendizaje de este año. Un enriquecedor año, para todos nosotros. El aprendizaje en el área escolar, cómo ayudar a nuestros hijos a ser su mayor apoyo, la importancia de la salud mental, la participación de Dr. Richie que nos brindó en el CAP, la importancia de acudir a las escuelas, cómo comparar de manera sana las escuelas para la mejora de nuestros hijos, el proceso escolar y cómo abogar por nuestros hijos en sus necesidades. La importancia de reclasificar, cómo interpretar los exámenes de LPAC y los exámenes estatales, cómo apoyar a nuestros hijos a tener expectativas altas.
This year learning, an enriching year for all of us. Learning in the school setting, how to help our children be their greatest support, the importance of mental health, Dr. Ritchie's involvement in the LCAP, the importance of going to schools, how to make healthy comparisons between schools to improve our children's school, the school process and how to advocate for our children and their needs, the importance of reclassification, how to interpret the LPAC and state test, and how to support our children and have high expectations.
Gracias por el apoyo a nuestras familias y a continuación les vamos a poner un pequeño video de lo que hicimos en este gran año.
Thank you for supporting our families. We will be showing a video of what we did this year.
I do want to thank these two ladies who worked on the PowerPoint and the video. They did all the work, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was great. All right. Goodbye. On to item D, Dr. Ritchie, our local controlled accountability plan. Oops, I just turned you off. There you go.
All right. Good evening, board. I know this is the part everyone's been waiting for, so I'm excited to share the LCAP. There's a few things that excite educators as much as talking about a plan that we give to the state. So this evening, we're going to go over, just for the sake of time, we'll really brief through some of these parts. There's 8 state priorities that we have to account for in the LCAP, and they're in front of you. For those who are watching or anyone who watches this later, the draft of the LCAP is available on the district website, so you can look at it. It's 140 pages of glory and go through and see all the things that we've done up to this point and things we're planning to do. The LCAP is set up as follows, where it gives a budget overview for our parents that is easy to understand, a plan summary, how we engage in our educational partners, the goals and actions, how we increase or improve services for unduplicated youth, which consists of foster youth, English learners, and low-income students. And I neglected to put one in there. There's a new category this year for long-term English learners as well. There's action tables. So for everyone who really loves accounting, you can see where all the money is going, and then the instructions at the end, how it's supposed to be set up. The budget overview, we are spending in LCFF supplemental concentration grants. It's the basic idea here is that we receive what's called local control funding formula. We receive money from the state. There's a base amount that you receive for the number of students that you have. Then there's something called supplemental concentration grants where you receive extra money for students, of those students we were talking about earlier, for foster youth, English learners, long-term English learners, and low socioeconomically disadvantaged students. We receive about $41 million, almost $42 million for those students. In the LCAP itself, we have it's $48 million that we spent on it. We have included other funds for some of the plans that we are implementing. The way that we engage our educational partners and their impact on the LCAP is we provide lots of surveys, we hold meetings, we go out, as you heard just now from the DLAC, go out and share and solicit information from them. We consult with our local SELPA, and we try to really make sure that our LCAP reflects the desires of our community. So our LCAP has 9 goals. The reason for that is because the state, in all of its wisdom, has decided to add certain requirements to us. So we went from a 4-goal LCAP last year to an 8-goal LCAP, and this year now it's a 9-goal LCAP because of certain requirements I'll get into. So the first goal is a goal that focuses on our English learners. Our English learners have been making tremendous progress up to this point, and so we're continuing trying to increase that. The way you define making progress is that the students have moved up a level or they've scored a 4 or higher on the LPAC. And so right now we're sitting about 45%. You see the actions there that we have put in place to help support that. New this year to the LCAP is more support for our dual language immersion program, and that came out of community meetings that we held. There's a deep interest in continuing to improve our DLI services. Our second goal is what's called a broad goal. This is focused on social, emotional, behavioral supports. Some of the actions in there include providing counselors, professional development for counselors, mental health services. Just saw the report from our student attendance program that the LCAP helps support that, and also student services. Third goal is an academic broad goal, and this is, as you heard Dr. Marshall say, we've been trending upward in our academic performance over the last several years. Right now, we don't have official results yet from the state test, but right now we're expecting to have a moderate improvement in ELA and mathematics. I won't say the total because every day I look at it, it changes slightly, but it's definitely, we're trending in the right direction. Some of the actions there is continued support for our professional learning communities, professional development, summer programs, elementary music teachers, visual and performing arts, and tutoring services for students. The fourth goal is what's called a maintenance goal, and literally it's about just maintaining facilities, staff, that kind of thing. I call this the keeping the lights on goal. You have to have some actions like this, and so this is where we provide health services, school security, the evolve systems that we put in place at every secondary school comes out of here. Additional support for transportation, STEM programs, teacher induction, STEM labs, speech and language services is another item that was added to the LCAP this year. That's an area that our parents expressed a desire to have more support in. Fifth goal is a focus goal. This is one that came out of our LCAP last year, the development, where we saw that there was a definite need to decrease the suspension rate for all students. We were about a little over 2 times the state average for suspension rates. And preliminarily, when we look at this year, we've dropped from about last year was 7.2% suspension rate. So it means that for every school, every student in the school of 11,000 students, that 7.2% of them were suspended 1 day. State average California is 3.4 as last year. This year, we're sitting, it depends on which report you run, we're sitting between 3.9 and 4.1%. Still not where we want to be, but that's, if you look in terms of drops, that's a dramatic decrease. And our schools have really taken to heart looking for different ways to address behavior and looking to address suspensions, because I've said this many times as I've done this report, you can't suspend your way out of behavior issues. We tried and we failed. And so now we're doing something different, and we're seeing massive results. And especially we have a couple of schools that are really leading the way in that. And you'll see that the restorative practices, positive behavioral supports, and additional certified behavior analysts to help with teachers are all throughout. And I neglected to say earlier, you can feel free to interrupt me anytime. I'm just talking, so if you have a question, feel free just to ask. I'm checking, Lori. I saw your face.
So maybe when you're done, can you just explain again what, I know what the summer melt counselors are, but what,
The idea behind the summer melt counselor, that actually came out of that was about 3 years ago. That action came out of a parent community meeting where several of our parents were expressing concern about the fact that their kids were graduating. We have a high graduation percentage here in Los Banos Unified, but we had a lot of kids that got accepted to college and then never enrolled. And so the idea behind the summer melt counselor is we provide counselors to work in summer school, but they are open to all students in the district and all former graduates in the district to come in and to get help. And our counselors will assist them in making that phone call, of navigating websites, of connecting with college academic advisement, and just helping them with that transition. Because when you go from high school and then you move into college or to a trade school and you're having to adult for the first time, it's really tough. And especially if you don't have individuals in your life who have navigated this before. Because when we talked to students, what we found was a lot of our students were the ones who were successful. We went and we kind of polled them, and what they told us, the overarching theme that kept coming back from them was that the ones who were successful had someone who had already navigated that in their life. So either a family member, an uncle, an aunt, older brother, cousin, someone who did it, who had already done it, and could go ahead and articulate how to transfer through that system. The students who didn't kind of fell by the wayside. And so this is our attempt to provide some support for those students so that they could be able to go in and be able to go with someone that they already know and trust, being as our counselors, to be able to navigate that system. We've seen an increase of students who are accepted and then also continue on. And so we're working to support that and improve that every year.
and how many do we have that work in the summer on,
Counselors, we have 2 counselors that work in the summer.
okay. Are they both at the high schools or?
They're at the high schools. Because the junior high and the elementary programs have a different focus. These counselors' focus is primarily on that transition and on supporting students.
Because I thought one was located at Los Banos Junior High during the summer. So that's, I mean, that was her job duty, was a male counselor.
I'll have to go look at that one
Okay.
because I don't know where everyone's at. That'd be more of a Zach question for the junior high because
Well, it's just that, I think they should be at the high school, right? So, but thank you.
Uh-huh. So, goal 6. This is our literacy goal. Our goal is to have students that can read by grade level by 3rd grade, and so this is a big one because we've seen over the past several years our ELA scores have kind of been stagnant. This is the first year we've kind of had a bit of a jump, and I think it's no small part in the fact that this is we invested in providing high quality, intensive professional learning for our teachers on how to basically teach early literacy. That's that LETTERS program. We had Mr. Soursby's been leading that work. We recruited 120 teachers to participate this year in year 1. And just so everyone's aware, this is not like, hey, we'll take you out for a day or 2 and do some training. They're doing work in the evenings. This is the equivalent of taking 12 units from a master's level course. And so they work in the evenings. They've come on Saturdays. Our teachers have gone above and beyond. And so we had 120 teachers participate this year. It's a 2-year program. When they finish next year, they will have been intensely trained in how to teach literacy to students at all grade levels. And we have another, right now, the number is 39 teachers who have signed up to start a cohort next year. So to put this in perspective, we have about 220-ish elementary teachers, and we're going to have 160 of them trained in 3 years. So we're excited about that because of all the things that we're doing in terms of support. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Train teachers. If you want to improve things that happen in the classroom, you have to help the teachers. And so working with our staff, we know we're going to see some big dividends out of this in the future. Goals 7, 8, and 9, these are the ones that California added on to requirements for LCAP last year. It's called the Equity Multiplier Fund goals. These are schools where they have a transient population. That's defined as any school that has more than 55% of their students that basically either enroll late or leave throughout a school year. So last year it was Crossroads and San Luis. that receive these funds this year at the TK Center. And that's partially due to the fact that as students aged into qualify for TK, according to state law, they can then go and enroll. And so once they came in and decided to enroll, that now counts as, hey, these students came in after the school year started, so that counts toward those funds. So that comes out to, in Crossroads, is about $259,000. In both San Luis and the TK Center, about $160,000. And the reason it's on the LCAP is because these are state funds, but they're for specific schools. So it actually goes through, they have to go through their site council and do all that work, but they can't put it on the single plan at the site council level because that's a federal document. And so California says, cool, well, we have a state document, so you had to shove it on the LCAP. So that's, essentially, this is almost like a SIPSA goal that's just been put on the LCAP. And so they've all chosen kind of the same thing with where the reasons why they did a needs assessment that focused on certain elements. Crossroads is to improve college career readiness rate. That was providing counselors, dual enrollment. San Luis was decreasing suspension rate, which is part of our suspension rate. I just talked about the decrease. San Luis is a big part of that, and that's also adding a counselor to help support those students. And then Transitional Kindergarten Center, their counselors can be a little bit different because they're going to focus mostly on really helping the parents as opposed to the students. And then also they're doing a new behavior curriculum to help students feel more comfortable when they come to school. So I already kind of went through the highlights. They're all there. All right. Any questions?
Questions?
Last slide you showed about the TK Center, and we're going to be helping the parents. That's where the community schools program comes into play.
Absolutely.
So it kind of partners with each other.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And that's one of the things I probably should have addressed that a little more carefully. With the LCAP, this is one set of funds. Community school is another set of funds. But the way we do business here is that we mirror everything, and we support everything. So community schools, the liaisons are working hand in hand with the schools, and we're looking at how we can use the support from community schools as well as the support there at the school sites to be able to help our children and help their families.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good job. All right.
So before you move on, though, we do need
to
go
to public hearing.
We need to do a
That's
public
right.
hearing.
Read the agenda. We have a public hearing. So do we have anybody here tonight that would like to address the board on our LCAP? We'll open that up at 9:02. All right. Seeing no one come forward, we'll close it at 9:02. All right. Thank you very much. On to item E, which is our 25-26 budget report and adoption. Hello, Mel.
Good evening. I'm going to be up here a while, so. Okay. Tonight I present to you the 25-26 budget development. First, I want to acknowledge Genesis Hamilton, an 8th grader at Los Banos Junior High, who designed the cover for us. Most of you know this is like my favorite part of the book. I love getting all these from the students. It's just so fun to go through them. Okay, what are our formative budget process? You usually see me about 4 times a year for the unaudited actuals, the first interim report, the second interim report, and then budget development. As Dr. Marshall had expressed, we have always been able to certify as positive, which shows that we can meet our financial obligations for the current year and the 2 subsequent years. If we were to qualified, that means we can meet our financial obligation 1 year, but we may not be able to meet one of the other 2 years. A negative certification means that you are not able to meet your obligation for the current year or the next year. We are very fortunate that we've been good with our finances and we are able to qualify this budget as a positive certification. So we were on pins and needles waiting for the May revise to hit to see what was going to happen with the budget. So how did we end up after the May revise? We ended up with a COLA of 2.3%, and we were at 2.7, so we did see a little drop from that. We would have liked it at 2.7, but We'll settle for 2.3 at this point. How will Governor Newsom fund the COLA? It will be through reductions, borrowing, fund shifts, deferrals, and just so you know, we do expect deferrals in June of our apportionment. Governor Newsom will use $481 million of the rainy day fund to support this COLA. May revisions reduce one-time block grant of $100 million, continues to provide ongoing funding for the full implementation of the universal transitional kindergarten. It maintains the restoration of the learning recovery block grant. If you remember when we got that grant, they reduced it and we lost, I think it was 20% of it. So we're hoping that this means that we're going to get that 20% reduction back. The May revision fully funds the universal meal programs while adding an additional funding of Sunbucks program and the kitchen infrastructure grant. He modified the investments in supporting teacher and the educational pipeline by repurposing $150 million in one-time funds for the teacher recruitment incentive grant and instead repurposed $100 million in the one-time funds for student teacher stipend program. He did propose K through 12 will get deferrals in June, and we hope to get those funds back in July. We will monitor cash flow very carefully to make sure that we're going to be okay when that comes. Okay, so how did we end up? Keep in mind this is based on estimates. The beginning balance that you see, 11.2 million, that is prior to closing the book, so that could be more, it could be less. The revenues that we hope to get in 25-26 are $170 million, expenditures of $152 million, contribution to restricted funds of $20 million, with an ending fund balance of $8.9 million. One thing I do want you to notice on this slide is up until this point, you've always seen a very large amount under the committed funds, and you will not see that on this because I will not know those until I close the books. So you'll see the committed funds section will pop up in first interim once I close the book and I see how much we have carryover. But you do see that 8.9 million consists of 29,479 in our revolving fund, payroll reserves of 1.3 million, lottery funds of $1 million, and the state 3% reserves requirement of 6.5 million, which leaves our overall district reserves at 5%. The general fund. So with this budget, we had in your packets that you see, you'll see the new hiring that was listed for this year in your big, beautiful books that you got. So you'll see why these salaries are a little bit different. So for the unrestricted, we ended up with $60.2 million in certificated salaries, which includes teachers and admin, classified salaries of 17.8, benefits of 39.9%, books and supplies of 7.3 million, services of 18.7, capital outlay of 3.9 with indirect cost of 1.7 million for a total of 149.7 million. Keep in mind salary and benefits are 79% of our unrestricted funds. Did I change that? Okay, the restricted funds, you're going to notice a big difference here too, and I'll explain why when I get there. So for our restricted funds, we ended up with 13.5 in certificated salaries, 11.1 in classified, 19.4 in benefits, books and supplies of 10.4, services of 10.2, and capital outlay of 350,000. In second interim, the restricted 4s, 5s, and 6s were about 83 million, and on this you're seeing 20 million because that 59 million that we had as carryover, I don't know those amounts till I close the books. So you'll see when you get first interim that those 4s, 5s, and 6s are going to be way higher because I've closed the books and now I know what the carryover for those accounts are. And I know I had several questions last time about, well, why do we have to put it in the 4s and 5s? And so I reached out to the county and the state, and because these are restricted funds and we have to post them as unearned revenue. I have to recognize the revenue and the expense. I cannot let restricted fall into fund balance. So even though we may not spend all that money in 4s and 5s, I have to budget it there. I can't let it fall in fund balance. I have to recognize it. And I don't put it in the 1s, 2s, or 3 because I'm overstating our salaries. So you'll kind of see we have to budget there. We may not spend that, but I have to recognize it for the state.
So for clarification, that people that are
Yes.
watching, let's go back that one slide.
Oh.
Your 4s and 5s are the 4th and 5th category here on this list. So
Yes.
certificated is 1, benefits is 3, books and supplies
Yes.
is 4.
So the 4s and
services is
5s are,
5.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's books and supplies and services.
It's books and supplies and services, correct. So this is the proposed budget that's in front of you versus second interim. I wanted to let you guys see what the different revenue that would be for next year with the 2.3 COLA, which as you could see, we ended up with $6.3 million in more revenue due to that COLA. The LCFF summary, I put this in here because this is what I see. Like if you look in the books that I provide for you, you'll see the calculating form in the back where you could see where I get this. But I wanted to point out, like Dr. Ritchie had mentioned, you see the grade span adjustment, which is the 4.3, which is the class size reduction that we get. And then you see the supplemental and concentration grad, that is the LCAP. So it's part of that LCAP, and that amount is based on those alternative income forms that we have the parents fill out. So the more of those we get, the higher that number goes up. But when you look at it and you think 164 million, 41 million of that is LCAP. That's restricted for that program. So I just kind of wanted to show how it is part of it, but that's kind of separate. It's not part of the unrestricted. Multi-year projections. So how did we look going out throughout the current next year and to the current years out? You do notice that next year we are estimating a 3.02 COLA. And so you see our revenue is going up a little bit. So next year it looks like 177, the following year 183, if those COLAs stay true. But as you could see, our district overall reserves are well below the 10% cap that we're at. I would love those reserves to be higher, but unfortunately at this time they are not there. Financial obligations. These are the benefits that we have to pay on every single solitary person that's paid on our payroll. These amounts fluctuate. I did notice, which was nice, was coal for PERS. We had a little bit of a deduction of 0.24, which was nice, but you did see our workers' comp went up 0.23. And you do notice that you don't see an increase in health and welfare once we negotiated that $24,000 cap. So it does make it easier to budget because we know that that cap's in place.
But I think it's important to notice that go back one slide, please.
Mm-hmm.
The second line, the CalPERS and contribution rate went down, but they've already given the numbers for the next 2 or 3 years, and it goes
go back up.
Goes back up significantly.
Yes.
So this is a short time that we.
I think they were
really-
trying to help with that little bit of COLA reduction, so it's still
but that
going to
number's
go back
going to go
up.
up again,
Yes.
and that's what we pay for that.
Yep.
Employees pay a little bit too, but that's what we pay. So it's going to go.
Okay, so multi-year projection assumptions. We have always budgeted very conservatively, so we always budget for a flat enrollment in ADA, and if it goes up, that's great. But I don't want to budget for something and then have it not materialize and we've spent those funds. So we're always very conservative when we build this budget. This budget does include the cost of living adjustment, and we do currently have our UPP count is at 82%. Multi-year projections does include the step and column increases along with any pension increases. The multi-year projection also does include our COP payment for the next 3 years. And as you see, our reserves are well below the state limit of 10%. So final synopsis. We are currently able to meet our financial obligation with the support of one-time federal funds, state funds, and the COLA. Enrollment continues to remain flat. ADA continues to be volatile. I will be able to provide you updated P2 numbers once we complete P2 or revise P2 in the annual ADA. Pension contributions continue to increase. Special ed and transportation costs increase every year. However, the sites are helping to collect as many alternative income forms as we can from parents throughout the year. Any questions?
Questions?
Everyone's like, it's late. We want to go home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. But again, if you go through the board, if you go through anybody that looks at the budget, even though we're projecting out 3 years and we are positive, it's the numbers are going down. It's
Yes.
scary as far as ending reserves. So it's we need more COLA money from the state is what we need.
We do, and I don't think that 3% will stay next year, but I'm hoping it does. Any little bit helps.
Yeah, for sure. All right, with that, we need to open a public hearing at 9:15 for anybody that wants to comment on the budget. All right, seeing no one come forward, we will close the budget hearing at 9:15. And with that, we need to adopt the budget, so I need a motion, please. Got a motion by Ms. Gattuso, seconded by Ms. Smith to adopt the 25-26 budget. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, carried unanimously. Thank you,
I'm still here.
Ms. Marcella. I know you're still here. Now, I just want to make one comment before we go on.
Sure.
We had 26 new business items. We've gone through 4. So we have 22 new business items
I'm
left.
trying to talk as
No,
fast
it's not
as I can.
No, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just saying we have 22 more to go. So those of you looking at your clock, take some coffee. All right, on to item number F, excess of minimum reserve requirements.
It is recommended that the board approve the balances in excess of minimum reserves requirement form. This is a form that MCOE requires us to complete, just showing what is left after ending fund balance and the 3% reserves. It's just operational.
All right, comments or questions? Motion, please. We got a motion by Member Lieb, seconded by Member Gattuso, to approve the excess of minimum reserve requirements. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. On to item G, education protection account resolution.
It is recommended that,
I was going to say resolution 17-25.
Oh, okay, I was going to read that. Your question. It is recommended that the board adopt a resolution 1725 regarding the education protection account. This is money that we get. It's part of general fund as well, but it's resource 1400. We can only spend that on certificated salaries. So this is just showing the county that we're going to spend the whole amount on certificated salaries.
All right, comments or questions? All right, seeing none, need a motion, please. We got a motion by Ms. Gattuso, seconded by Mr. Castro, to adopt resolution 17-25 as a roll call. Tina, please.
Mr. Castro? Yes. Mrs. Gattuso? Yes. Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Yes. Ms. Valadao? Mr. Ferrer?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, passes unanimously. On to item H. Just a couple of things to draw the attention to the board.
We pulled one off,
We pulled the page 25 off. And we are going to go to page 26, which is resolution 13-25.
It is recommended that the board approve resolution 13-25 authorizing to sign on the behalf of the governing board.
All right, so
Just in case someone doesn't know what this is allowing Dr. Lee and myself to sign off on payroll, accounts payable, any kind of financial stuff that on behalf of the board.
actually, it's not both of those. these are actually two separate.
Okay, we're going to
resol-
bring the other
we're-
one back.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, well, no, wait a minute. The, page 26, which is resolution 13-25, which is the one, with your signature, is one resolution, and then the second resolution is on page 27, and that number is going to be changed to resolution number 21-25, because these are actually two separate resolutions. They should have not have been numbered consecutive, with the same number. So we're going to do resolution 13-25, which is on page 26, authorizing Melody Marcella to sign. Motion, please.
So moved.
Got a motion by member Lieb, seconded by Ms. Smith, to adopt resolution 13-25. All those in favor?
No, roll call.
I'm sorry, roll call vote. I know, still resolutions. I want to go home. Tina, please.
Mr. Castro?
Yes.
Ms. Gattuso? Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Prairie?
Yes, that passes unanimously. Now, same item H, but resolution number 21-25 on page 27, authorizing Dr. Cypher Lee to be a signatory. And with that, need a motion, please?
So moved.
We got a motion by member Lee, seconded by member Smith, to adopt resolution 21-25. Roll call, please, Tina.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Gattuso? Yes. Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Prairie?
Yes. All right, passes unanimously. Okay, on to item I, designating certain general funds for 25-26, which is resolution 14-25.
It is
Marcella.
recommended that the board approve resolution 1425 designating certain general funds as committed fund balances.
Comments, questions, motion? We got a motion by member Smith, seconded by member Castro, to adopt resolution 14-25, designating certain funds for 25-26. Tina, roll call, please.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Gattuso? Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Prairie?
Yes. Item passes unanimously. On to item J, interfund transfers, resolution 12-25.
It is recommended that the board approve the attached resolution 12-25 for the 25-26 school year, allowing me to do interfund transfers.
Comments, questions, motion?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. A motion by Mr. Lieb, second by Ms. Gattuso, to adopt resolution 12-25. Tina, please.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Gattuso? Yes. Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Prairie?
Yes. All right. Motion passes unanimously. On to item K, 2024 GASB 75 actuarial valuation.
It is recommended that the board review and accept the GASB actuary full valuation study. This is an operational thing that we have to do every year, and usually our consultant comes down, but I couldn't see him flying from Florida just to do this and getting charged for that, so I just presented it, and you should have received the full backup report.
All right. Comments, questions? Motion? Got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Smith, to approve the 2024 GASB 75 actuarial valuation. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job. On to item L, approval of the addendum to the comprehensive safety plan to include the instructional continuity plan. Mr. Mraz, welcome.
Thank you. It is recommended for the board to approve the 2025 instructional continuity plan as an addendum to the 2025 comprehensive safety plans for each school. So basically, this is a new mandate, and this came out of the fires from Southern California that we need to have an emergency plan in place. So we actually put one together, and the schools had the opportunity between August and the end of September to actually tailor the plan to their specific needs. So, but we have to meet a deadline that we need to have this in place by July 1st, 2025.
Comments or questions from the board?
Yes.
We have to have in place, but the schools will still have time to.
Yeah, so
August
we
and
actually,
September?
this is an addendum to the safety
Right.
plans. So it's actually, the plan is the same for every single school at this point. It's just a general plan. This is something relatively new. We really didn't get a lot of guidance, so we were expected to put it together and in a short amount of time.
The plans aren't all the same. You mean the addendum? The addendum is the same for all of them right now?
Correct, the addendum is the same. So, and we follow a guideline that was provided to us through document tracking to ensure that we're actually covering everything that needs to be covered.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right. Hearing none, I need a motion, please. We got a motion by Member Castro, seconded by Member Lieb, to approve the addendum to the comprehensive safety plans to include the instructional continuity plan. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to the elementary curriculum adoption, item M, universal reading screener. Mr. Sowersby, welcome.
Good evening, board members and trustees. It is recommended the board declare its intent to adopt a new universal reader screener, the M-Class with Dibbles Edition 8, and M-Class Lectura, published by Amplify Education, serving students in grades K2, offered in English and Spanish. And this is required by the state of California to be in place by the beginning of next school year.
All right, comments or questions? We're going to declare our intent to adopt with the motion. It'll come back to us for approval. So with that, I need a motion, please. We got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Castro, to declare our intent to adopt the elementary curriculum adoption universal reading screener. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. Thank you. On to item N, school plans for student achievement.
Staff recommend the Los Banos USD Board of Trustees approve the revised 25-26 school plans for student achievement, also known as the SIPSA, for Los Banos High School, Pacheco High School, San Luis High School, Crossroads, Creekside Junior High School, Los Banos Junior High School, Charleston Elementary, Grasslands Elementary, Henry Miller Elementary, Los Banos Elementary, Loreno Velasco Elementary, Mercy Springs Elementary, Miano Elementary, Transitional Kindergarten Center, Westside Union Elementary, and Volta Elementary.
All right. Comments, questions?
Yes, I hope you enjoyed reading all of them. I know I did.
It's wonderful ways of putting you to sleep. Because we all kind of look at those and the paper hits us in the head there. All right. Motion, please. Motion by Member Castro, seconded by Member Gattuso, to approve the school plans for student achievement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. On to item O, job description for band and or drama assistant. Mr. Sowersby.
It is recommended that the board approve the band and or drama assistant position, job description, and company salary schedule.
Again, comments or questions? Motion? Second. We got a motion by Mr. Castro, seconded by Mr. Lieb. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. On to item P, job description of the visual arts assistant. Mr. Sowersby.
It is recommended the board approve the visual arts assistant position / job description and company salary schedule.
And as always, comments or questions? Seeing none, motion please. Motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Gattuso, to approve the job description for the visual arts assistant. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. Item Q, purchase of vehicles for the high school band programs. Mr. Sowersby.
It is recommended that the board approve the district's purchase of 2 new F-250 Super Cab vehicles for Los Banos High School and Pacheco High School from San Jose Fort, Los Banos, California.
Comments or questions?
Only comment I have
There you go.
is to say thank you for buying from Santos. Appreciate that.
They provided us it was clearly the lowest bid offered, and it's great that we can keep business here locally.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Need a motion, please, if there's no more comments.
So moved.
We got a motion by Mr. Lieb, seconded by Member Smith, to approve the purchase of vehicles for the high school band programs. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. Thank you, Mr. Soursby. All right, on to item R, position title change. And is that Mr. Ritchie, Dr. Ritchie?
Yep.
It is Dr. Ritchie. All right, go ahead.
It is recommended the board approve the change in title from Director of English Learner and Migrant Education Programs to the Director of Multilingual Services and Migrant Education. This move reflects a more asset-based approach to overseeing services for students and better aligns with the vision that represents work being done on behalf of our students in our district.
All right, comments or questions? Motion? Motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Castro, to approve the position title change. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. On to item S, initial bargaining proposal, the Los Banos Unified School District and the Los Banos Teachers Association. Dr. Ritchie.
It's recommended the board accept the initial bargaining proposal submitted by the Los Banos Unified School District for the 2025-2026 bargaining cycle. Board acceptance of the proposal will follow a public hearing.
All right, with that, we're going to open a public hearing on the initial bargaining proposal between the district and the Los Banos Teachers Association at 9:31. Seeing no one come forward, we will close the public hearing at 9:31. Comments from the board? Questions? Motion, please. We've got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Castro, to approve the initial bargaining proposal between the Los Banos Unified School District and the Los Banos Teachers Association. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. On to item T, new position, expanded learning program coordinator, which is the LEAP classified management position. Dr. Ritchie.
It's recommended the board approve the expanded learning program coordinator, LEAP, classified management position, job description, and accompanying salary schedule.
Comments, questions from the board? Motion?
So moved. I'll second it.
I didn't even hear. Did he say something? Oh, okay. Motion by Member Castro, seconded by Member Lieb, to approve the new position of the expanded learning program coordinator for LEAP classified management. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. On to item U, which is Resolution 16-25 for the Acknowledging School Facilities Master Plan Requirements. Dr. Lee.
It is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 16-25, acknowledging the requirement to submit a school facility master plan for participation in the school facility program.
All right. Comments or questions? Seeing none, motion, please. We've got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by a Member Gattuso. Here's a roll call vote. Tina, please.
Castro? Yes. Mrs. Gattuso? Yes. Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Yes. Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pereira?
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. On to item V. This is one of the items that had a correction in the numbers on the printed agenda, but not on the BRM, which is the backup material. And that is Resolution 19-25, which is the Volta Elementary Modernization CEQA Notice of Exemption. Ms. Monday.
It is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 1925 approving the Volta Elementary School Modernization Project as categorically exempt from CEQA.
All right, comments, questions? Motion, please.
So moved.
Got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Gattuso, to adopt Resolution 19-25 for the Volta Elementary Modernization CEQA Notice of Exemption. Roll call vote. Tina.
Mr.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Gattuso?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Yes. Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pura?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. On to item W. This is another one that had a change in the numbers. Resolution 18-25, Los Banos Heights Modernization CEQA Notice of Exemption. Ms. Monday.
It is recommended that the board adopt Resolution 18-25 approving the Los Banos High School Modernization Project as categorically exempt from CEQA.
All right. Any questions? Motion, please. Got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Lieb to adopt Resolution 18-25, Los Banos High Modernization CEQA Notice of Exemption. Roll call. Tina, please.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Gattuso? Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Yes. Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pura?
Yes. All right, on to item X, Capital Projects Notice of Completion, Los Banos Junior High School New Walk-In Freezer Project. Ms. Monday.
It is recommended that the board accept as complete the Los Banos Junior High School new walk-in freezer project and authorize the filing of the notice of completion.
Comments, questions? Motion, please. Got a motion by Member Castro, seconded by Member Gattuso, to approve the capital projects notice of completion for the Los Banos Junior High new walk-in freezer project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried.
Thank you.
It is carried. All right. Item Y, policy updates for first reading. Dr. Ritchie.
It's recommended the board declare its intent to adopt the following mandated updates. Board Policy 1312.2, complaints concerning instructional materials. Exhibit 1312.2, Exhibit 1, complaints concerning instructional materials. Board Policy 1340, access to district records. Administrative Regulation 1340, access to district records. Board Policy 6158, independent study. Administrative Regulation 6158, independent study.
All right. This is the first time we'll see these, or we're seeing these, so we are declaring our intent to adopt. They will come back to us next month. But I do have any questions? I need a motion, please. Got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by a Member Gattuso to declare our intent to adopt for first reading the policies listed under item Y. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is carried. Item Z, number 26 out of 26. Whew. I know, but we got through this part, okay? We got through the new business. All right, item Z, select superintendent search firm. It is recommended the board approve the selection of an executive search firm that will lead the search for a new superintendent. Comments, questions?
We take that one off the agenda?
Well, we could, but then we would have to not approve his resignation letter, so that's probably not going to work. All right, then if there's no other comments, I need a motion. Got a motion by Member Smith, seconded by Member Castro to approve this the selection of a superintendent search firm. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. On to item 11, the consent calendar. Down to the end here. Consent calendar. Any pulls tonight on any item on the consent calendar? All right, seeing no pulls, I need a motion, please. Got a motion by Member Lieb, seconded by Member Gattuso to approve the consent calendar as listed. It is a roll call vote. Tina, please.
Mr. Castro? Yes. Mrs. Gattuso? Yes. Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Ms. Smith? Yes. Ms. Valadeo? And Mr. Pura?
Yes. Item approved unanimously. So now we go to reporting out of closed session action. We had one item for action. We did pull the other item, which was number 4, leave extension request. That item was pulled. That was an action item. so we didn't have any action because it was pulled. Item 5 was parental request for early graduation for a Pacheco High School student. The the motion was by Member Lieb, seconded by Member Smith to approve. The vote was 4 yeses, no nos, and 2 absences, which was Valadeo and Moran. That's all of the reporting out of closed session. Board, do you have any items for discussion, information, and future agenda items? Doesn't look like there's anything there. We finished. Next item on the agenda is continuation of closed session. We finished in closed session tonight, so there's nothing to report out from that. And with that, it is 9:40, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for joining us, and safe travels home. Good night, everybody.